Only Davao City tycoon Dennis Uy's Udena Corporation qualifies to bid for the third major telecommunications player in the Philippines. This makes Udena the provisional third telco. From 10 interested bidders, only 3 managed to submit bids. 2 bidders are disqualified but still have the option to file appeals. Udena teams up with telco giant China Telecommunications Corporation or China Telecom and local telco franchise holder Mindanao Islamic Telephone Company or Misdatel. Disqualified is Sear Telecom, a consortium of the Louis Chavez Singson Group or LCS and Mindanao-based internet provider Tier 1 Communications. Last to submit is the Philippine Telegraph and Telephone Corporation or PTNT, but the selection committee also disqualifies PTNT for not having a certification of technical capability. Democrats seized control of the House of Representatives on Tuesday, November 6, in a midterm setback for President Donald Trump. Trump manages to avoid the feared blue wave, or the Democrats winning a majority in both chambers, as the Republican Party expands its Senate majority. Just after polls close on the West Coast, Trump tweets to hail his party's performance. He calls it a tremendous success. Democrats will take control of the House for the first time in 8 years, upsetting the balance of power in Washington with Republican dominance of both chambers. Democrats will now be able to block legislation and investigate Trump's opaque finances and Russian interference in the 2016 election. The U.S. midterm elections see several historic firsts in the Democratic camp. 29-year-old Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez makes history as the youngest woman elected to Congress. She is also the first person of color to represent the safe Democratic seat in diverse Queens and the Bronx, which is largely immigrant. Ocasio-Cortez was moonlighting as a bartender when she beat incumbent Joe Crowley in the primaries. Meanwhile, Democrat candidates Sharice Davids and Deb Haaland break new ground by becoming the first Native American women elected to Congress. In the Midwest, Ilan Omar and Rashida Tlaib share the historic distinction of becoming the first 2 Muslim women elected to the U.S. Congress. In Colorado, Democratic Congressman Jared Polis wins the governor's race, making him the first openly gay person elected as U.S. governor. Meantime, one of the most closely watched races, 3-term congressman and a former punk band member Beto O'Rourke loses to Texas Republican Ted Cruz. In Georgia, Stacey Abrams, 44, the former minority leader of the state House of Representatives, refuses to concede to Republican Brian Kemp. Philippine Foreign Secretary Teddyboy Locsin seeks to refine the foreign policy of the Duterte administration to address changing realities. Locsin says it is now friends to friends, enemies to enemies, and worse enemies to false friends. Friends to all, enemies to none was a battle cry of Locsin's predecessor Alan Peter Cayetano. In his first major foreign policy speech, Locsin assures diplomats that Duterte's administration is pursuing a truly independent foreign policy. President Rodrigo Duterte earlier vowed to move away from the Philippines as former colonizer and traditional ally, the US, and move closer to China and Russia. Globe announces it would bring eSIM technology to the Philippines. The traditional SIM card is physical, where you slide in a small microchip into the phone. The eSIM is embedded into the phone, allowing you to create and manage multiple accounts. World travelers will benefit from an eSIM since it allows users to switch to that country's network without a physical card and create an account. 2017's Google Pixel 2 was among the first phones to support the technology. To activate an eSIM, one has to get QR cards at Globe stores and scan it using their eSIM-capable devices. Currently, the eSIM will only be available through postpaid plans that will be rolled out before the year ends.